Hey everyone, sorry about that. We're back. Trying again with window capture. There we go. Cool. Alright, so we get to talk about this now. This is Half-Life Alyx. And I don't know what's going on. I'm going to see the trailer, I think. But this is what we have so far. This is looking pretty, this is already pretty interesting. This is also brand new. This Combine, this looks like a Combine ship or something like that, right? And then of course I just saw, we scroll down here, we have Half-Life Alyx with what I'm assuming is Alex Vance over here. Available March 2020. Holy shit. Holy shit, Combine soldiers for the first time in forever. Whoa, hold up. This is a little surreal. What the fuck? And this is like playing at like a fucking, what is this potato quality? All right, here we go. This already looks fantastic. They're definitely obviously using Source 2, right? That's what that's got to be. Hold on, let me just make sure chat is right next to me. Oh, shit. Whoa. Oh, fucking head crabs.
I'm here. So what's the plan?
If we can get this weapon, what we're doing here could change things forever.
Wow, this looks so much better than the Source engine.
No straight shot to the vault.
Whoa, okay, I'm blown away. You want to know something interesting? This is looking different. This is looking different.
I'm gonna head inside, find a way out. Got it.
That's definitely her voice actor.
Every step of the way.
Whoa. What the fuck? Holy shit!
I'm with you every...
Whoa, this guy looks way better than anything on the Source engine. Holy fucking shit.
Every step of the way.
You're gonna need a gun. Don't worry, it's unloaded.
Is that what I think it is?
It's unloaded now.
Is that the Half-Life 2 fucking... Whoa! Holy shit! Whoa!
Combine cannons.
Okay, few things real quick.
Unloaded now.
Hold up, okay. So first off, Combine structures are back. Combine structures look better than ever right now. Holy fuck. I didn't think I'd really be seeing this. This is really surreal.
I'm with you every step
What
of the
the
way.
fuck?
You're gonna need...
Also, I know my voice is probably getting overshadowed by the volume, but I'm going to try to keep the volume a little bit lower now for that. Sorry about that. If that's been annoying. But like this is fucking crazy. This is City 17, is it not? Maybe it's not. I don't know. Actually, we'll probably figure that out afterwards. I would imagine it's City 17. That's where fucking Alex is. But again, this is a prequel, and you can kind of see that the Combine outfits don't look how they do in Half-Life 2. They actually look more like they're a little bit more plastic looking. I don't know if that's a retcon or if this is it's supposed to be like an earlier version of it. Either way, I think it's really cool.
Don't worry, it's unloaded.
I can't believe we're looking at Combine.
It's unloaded now.
Also, this is fucking crazy. The headcrab zombies look way different. Well, they look the same, but wow. Headcrab zombies. We're looking at new ones. Again. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what? I'm going to let this play out instead of pausing it. Whoa, those physics. Those fucking physics are ridiculous.
Oh, God.
Oh!
They got Dad.
They're gonna find out what he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
All this is my fault. I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
Oh, that is definitely a different voice actor.
Expanse alone cannot prevent his fate.
Vortigons.
Close your eyes, honey.
Antlions. Holy, wow. It's all back. It's all back. What is that thing? Is this when the Combine first... This has to be when the Combine first take over, right? No fucking way. The G-Man is back and he looks, oh my god, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? Dude. Okay, dude. What the fuck? Okay, all right. I'm going to watch this one more time. Because, oh my god, I can't believe it. I can't believe that Valve is still good at making games. I can't believe they still have artists. I thought everyone just left and went to go do VR. Thought all they had left was hardware engineers. Because the art in this game is looking fucking spectacular.
Alex?
I'm here.
Holy shit.
So what's the plan?
Did you guys fucking see G-Man just now?
What we're doing here could change things forever.
There's no straight shot to the vault. I'm gonna head inside, find a way out. Got it.
I'm with you every step of the way.
So, new VR
Gonna
puzzles.
need a gun. Don't worry, it's unloaded. It's unloaded now.
Holy shit. Look at that. She shot the zombie in its fucking abdomen, but the head crab fell off. So this is really impressive. Check this shit out. Not this right here. First, well, there was that. Man, there's really nothing like watching a Valve trailer for the first time. Right? This, I hate to say it, but they still got it. Are all of these physics objects? Because look at this. She can just fucking, you could put your hand through all of that and just move it aside. The physics are looking ridiculous. Also, what is that gun? That's a new gun. That is a new weapon. That is like a new makeshift weapon. What is that? And it's like a revolver.
They've got Dad.
You're gonna find out.
Okay, so these Combine soldiers do not look like the ones from before. And also, oh my god, the fucking sounds. The fucking sounds are back. This is really fucking strange.
What he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
Holy shit. Also, like, these environments. Oh my god. I really forgot that, like, they've had Left 4 Dead 2 and, like, Portal and all of that shit in between the last Half-Life game and right now. And it's really shining in the environments. Because the environments are looking more complex than any Half-Life title ever fucking has.
All this is my fault.
Look at that shit. Look at the fucking... Okay, look at the fucking environments in the background here.
They're gonna kill him.
This shit right here. And also, this is per object motion blur. I don't know if that's a... I don't know if that's because they're using the source filmmaker or if it's because it's in real time. Look at the events. Look at the events. Look at the fucking background shit here. It's crazy to see. Like, are these like early Combine soldiers before they had like the actual like the police vest looking shit?
I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
You will not save him.
I never told you what.
I never told you. I couldn't. I'm
Also, wow.
so sorry, baby.
You will not save him. Alex Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey.
And this is the one that fucking kills me. Also, they're going for somewhat... It's almost somewhat stylistic now. I feel like the older Half-Life... well, rather, I feel like Half-Life 2 didn't look as stylistic as this, but the people look a lot more... a little bit more stylized, especially in the eyes, but especially here. Wow. I'm blown away. G-Man looks fucking insane. This is crazy. I don't even know how to fucking... I don't even know how to process this. This is what's making it very Half-Life for me right now. This is solidifying that Half-Life is real again. This is... Yeah, this is Half-Life. We're getting Half-Life. And it's not Half-Life 3. This is Half-Life Alyx, but a lot of the tech is making it feel like a Half-Life 3 right now. I'm Okay, let me look at their website again. Play Half-Life Alyx with any Steam VR compatible system. However you want to play, we've got you covered. Room scale, sitting and standing, movement. It supports all of them. Teleport, fade out, smoothly zoom from point A to point B, continuous, controller style. Cool, so you don't need knuckles, huh? You're going to get Half-Life Alyx free with the Valve Index. What the fuck? Hold up. Gun skins, Steam VR home environments, and more. Customers who have purchased Valve Index hardware by the end of 2019 will have access to unique bonuses starting early next year. Explore environments from Half-Life Alyx in your Steam VR home space. Alternate gun skins to embellish Alyx's arsenal. So there's going to be like way more customization than usual. Than there usually is with excuse me, than with a Half-Life game. That is interesting. You index on Steam, yeah. We could look at Half-Life Alyx here on Steam too. $53.99, which is it's 10% off. We have screenshots. These are all from the trailer, but they look like they're in full quality. This guy. Now, this guy's interesting because it looks like he... Is this guy from the Borealis? Because it's looking like he has, like, breathing equipment. And it looks like... Well, no, he can't be from the Borealis. I mean, he was in City 17, right? But maybe he does have something to do with that. Because this guy looks like he has, like, an Arctic breathing sort of underwater thing going on with him. Is it just me? Does he looks a little Navy-ish. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. This was fucking crazy. The shaders that they're using, the materials are insane. I couldn't get over it. The materials and like the textures and reflections are wild. Fucking wild. Oh, this has to mean we're getting an SDK. There's no other way. Also, whoa, I'm just noticing. She has, like, hand enhancements. She has, like, a... Hold on. Excuse me, everybody. She has a health indicator on the left here. What is this? Wow, look at these CRTs. I forgot this game is still taking place in like 2004. No, it's not. This game is still taking place in like... When would this game take place? It's a prequel to Half-Life 2, which I'm assuming takes place in 2004. This is happening around 2000. It has to be. Look at the computers. That's crazy. So we have a bunch of old CRTs. And wow, that art style, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that thing? That's not Combine. Well, it is. What the fuck is that shit? Look at that. What's this guy? This is a brand new Combine. Who's that? That's interesting. This is Half-Life Alyx. So Rocket HD, what's up? This is Rocket Head. Sorry, I don't know why I said Rocket HD. Rocket Head. This is Half-Life Alyx. Isn't a reveal. These are the Combine soldiers, and I'm guessing this looks like a new Combine leader or something. It looks like he's leading them almost, but I guess that's just speculation. What else? Was this in the trailer? Whoa, is this the... Hold up. This is not the center of City 17, is it? Also, these environments. Look at this fucking detail. Look at this. Yeah, look at this shit. This is... First off, this is definitely City 17. I don't know why I was doubting myself before. Is this not the main area? Or at least this is definitely like City 17 at least. Manhacks are back. These Combine soldiers look like the ones these aren't the ones that are from these aren't the Metro cops. I think we're just going to be dealing with Combine soldiers because that's all they have right now. I don't think the Metro cops are going to come up until Half-Life 2. So we're seeing an earlier version of City 17 for sure. And this is fucking crazy. This is fucked. This new G-Man is fucking crazy looking. Look fucking holy shit, that's crazy. Yeah, the architecture is looking definitely like they look like they've like dialed back the clock on some of these Combine structures. I mean, there's way more destruction than there is the Combine cleaning any of it up. Not like they really did in Half-Life 2, but this definitely looks like it's way closer to when it first happened, especially with that ship. And you know what? It's crazy to think that City 17 and Half-Life 2 looks like District 9 before District 9, and this one is playing that up even more. Because this straight up just looks like District 9. And I know that would happen after Half-Life 2, obviously, but it's just crazy to see how this is just a translation of Half-Life 2, but with more detail. And it's crazy how ahead of its time that art style was, right? There's just like so much to soak in here.
What's the plan?
That's definitely Alex Vance's voice actor, of course, but you know, wow.
There's no straight shot to the vault.
That Strider was carrying that platform. So this ship, I'm wondering what's going on with this.
I'm gonna head inside, find a way out.
So this looks like a hacking type of puzzle, right?
Got it.
I'm with you every step of the way.
That dude, the face posing. Face posing has gotten a massive upgrade.
Got it.
As it should, but
I'm with you every step of the way.
The fucking animation is ridiculous. I forgot that this is like the even Portal 2 looks compared to like Half-Life looks crazy, and we're seeing a lot of like the Valve aesthetic is like super strong, and I mean, well, obviously it's Half-Life, but I mean, it's just like it's crazy to see it like this is Half-Life. This is it. Oh, I see.
Got it.
That's her
I'm
getting
with
the
you every
upgrades.
step
Of course, it's fucking supposed to be like an HEV suit.
of the way.
It's weird that she loses it later on, but yeah, these are Alex's gloves and
Gonna
everything.
need a gun. Don't worry, it's unloaded.
Okay, so real quick, I forgot to talk about this. There's a lot of people who were upset about it being VR only, and I don't have a VR headset, but I'm not mad about it being VR only. Right now, VR needs a killer app if it wants to continue and grow and be taken a little bit more seriously. I think VR right now is more a little bit of a gimmick, right? That's why people are still hesitant, like me, to get it, because why invest in a technology that feels more like a gimmick and less like a tool? Even though it could be. VR has a world of potential, and that's shown in the fact that we're still talking about it. You know, VR was being taken seriously a little bit more when the Oculus was happening, right? But even then, you know, we still had people who were like, you know, even though we had people who were early adopters and everything, I think one of the most interesting things is that it never faded out, like something like the where we had the 3D gimmick for a while. For a while, we were focused on 3D, and then it died out because people realized, hey, I don't want to watch stuff in 3D all the time. But VR is a little bit different, considering that the experience is actually more approachable because it's not as gimmicky, except that right now it is. Half-Life Alyx is... I think, what's going to sell VR. And that's for a few reasons. Few obvious reasons. First off, because of course it is. Right? Of course it is. When Half-Life 2 came out, PC gaming was still a little bit niche, but Half-Life 2, having the scene that it had with modding, and with the fact that you had this brand new technology that was, fucking... I forgot where my train of thought was going, but you know what I'm saying. I think Half-Life 2 is really what brought PC gaming into a much bigger and believable, atmosphere, right? Even though Half-Life 1 was groundbreaking and we've had stuff like Warcraft 3 and, StarCraft and Quake and Doom, PC gaming didn't really come into its own until the mid-2000s, and that started with the Source engine, right? Janus Vesta brings up a very solid point. My problem with it being a VR game is that they spent the last 12 years completely silent on Half-Life, and then the first thing we hear about it is a game that I won't be able to play for half a decade at least. It's true, but that's the thing, right? Is that what if this also creates a market? What if the demand for VR right now is not there because there's no one really wanting to buy it, and there's not enough money being cycled through it? If we do have more people cycling more money into it, who knows? Maybe there will be more VR headset companies popping up. Maybe there will be more research and development now that the demand is going to be there. And yeah, that's a risk. That is a big industry risk. And it's Valve taking a risk again, but I mean, they're trying. Valve is really pushing forward. They're one of the only companies that was doing it. Valve had the Vive, and now they're moving on to the Index. And now they're not just having the Index be out there. Valve is like, hey, you know what? We want that big killer app, and we're going to fucking make it. And, it's true. The thing is that Half-Life has always been that for them. Half-Life has always been, pushing boundaries, making it happen. And, I mean, Source 2 is not the most technologically demanding engine out there still. If you do get a VR headset, you're not going to need a very powerful computer to play Half-Life Alyx. Honestly, and some of the VR, headsets out there are going to require it. And especially even Index itself has the highest resolution right now in VR, but you could probably play Half-Life Alyx on it. And yeah, Index is really expensive right now. I would rather opt for a cheaper one, but with companies like Oculus making it more affordable as the technology is evolving, who knows? Maybe we will see more affordable options that don't suck. I mean, I'd rather see stuff like this where now that the technology is getting pushed, we're going to see, hey, the market as it's expanding, we're going to be seeing more developers, this newer technology is going to be getting pushed back into now this technology is just, it is what it is. And whatever's cutting edge next is going to be cutting edge. I think what's cutting edge right now is going to end up being the standard, if that makes any sense. As demand gets exponentially larger, we're going to see something like the Index become way cheaper because we're going to be busy. It's going to turn into a race. And, the consumer ends up winning when you have a race and not a monopoly. I think that's what Half-Life Alyx could do. Because, I mean, out of anything else, this could be what pushes VR even further. And it shows companies that, hey, don't be afraid of making an entirely VR-only game, right? Because right now people don't want to take that risk. People are making, these VR games non-VR compatible. Also off topic, but your Tomb Raider video is amazing. Thank you so much, your boy. I really appreciate that. It's very nice of you. And thank you for joining the stream. That support means a lot to me. But yeah, it sucks. I don't have VR, and I don't know if I'll be able to play Half-Life Alyx, but I mean, this game makes me want a VR headset. If there was any game that would make me want a VR headset, it would be a Half-Life game. And, yeah, that is kind of a... One could say that's kind of a cheap tactic that Valve is using, but I mean, it's not like Valve is known for not putting effort into the Half-Life series. This game on its own will probably be amazing. That's just a fact of the matter, is that Half-Life Alyx is going to be probably an amazing experience. That alone will sell not just the Valve Index, but other, headsets. Half-Life Alyx has the potential to pump a lot of money into the VR industry, making it more of a race, After PC gaming had its boom in the mid-2000s, going into the 2010s, that technology started moving at a very rapid pace. The issue I have with VR at the moment is that traditional storytelling does not seem to be a perfect fit for VR as a platform. They replaced Alyx's VA? What? There's no way. But she was retweeting everything. She was retweeting Tyler Vicker and everyone like that. What the fuck? That's so weird. What the fuck? No, that's illegal. I don't want to believe it. What the fuck? Dude, no. What the fuck? No. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Also, here's the thing, too. So Brimstone says, the issue I have with VR at the moment is that traditional storytelling does not seem to be a perfect fit for VR as a platform. Yeah, but I mean, it'll make ways for different methods of storytelling now. Storytelling, I feel like its real strength lies in moment-to-moment unique experiences, such as Beat Saber, a game that only works in VR. Sure. I mean, maybe, but again, what if Valve could change that? I don't know if it will, but I mean, Valve has changed storytelling in first-person shooters before. When Doom was released and when Quake was released, who would believe that they could tell any sort of story in something as fast-paced as something like that, in something as sort of chaotic as something like Quake or Doom or Wolfenstein, where the story has to be told in small doses or it has to be kept very subtle because of the player's attention span. Not that the attention span is small, but because of how the first-person shooter worked. Then Valve comes out with Half-Life, where we have real-time cutscenes, intertwined with gameplay. Who's to say we can't do that same thing for VR and make it more immersive? I think out of all the formulas, Valve's formula probably works best, does it not? I mean, everything's in real time, even if things are, a lot of the time when you have a, quote unquote cutscene or big story moment, first person point and click adventure style adventures are a thing and don't necessarily rely on constrained camera. I mean, there's that too. Who knows? Maybe it will work. Especially what if, we might end up preferring or finding new methods of controlling characters in VR because of this game and how it will work for a narrative. Also, apparently the Source 2 SDK is confirmed. Well, I hope you're ready for 2004 Part 2, because that means that we're about to have an entirely different slew of mods. And chances are, who knows? Maybe we'll end up having... Maybe someone will mod Half-Life Alyx to be a standard Source 2 game. Who knows? Maybe someone will do it. That'll be the community. I'm sure it'll happen, especially if there's an SDK. I mean... Whoa, real-time lighting previews in Hammer that aren't horrible. That is fucking nice. I mean, but exactly, though. So Brimstone says, I guess so far I have not seen a VR game do it effectively. We haven't. We really, really haven't. So you're absolutely right. And everyone is right to be skeptical. And that's what's so great about it. Honestly, that's what's so great about it, is that, I mean, this is it. This game is going to put to the test whether or not, if anyone's going to do real-time first-person storytelling in a medium that generally would not support it, it's going to be Valve. This is going to be the test of it. Honestly, I feel like if this game ends up not being, the experience that we want it to be in VR, then, I mean, What else? Also, real talk. Dude, yes. And also, like, the Half-Life universe. Like, look at this. This game looks incredible. This game has first-person effort put into it, but it's VR. And that's what we needed. You know? Valve is going balls deep. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily rely on Valve. They haven't developed the game in like a decade. Solutions will come from all sorts of places, I think. It's true, but it's not like, you know, their talent has gone away after a while. Valve has always been able to make games, and also they definitely have a group of artists. That too. They have made multiple games that they just canceled them all. That too. I mean, look, from what I can tell right now, their artists are still very much excited about doing this. And I mean, we don't really know too much about what's going on with Valve internally. If this project got pushed through, then, you know, they probably did take on way more artists or programmers or engineers. I feel like you have to be willing to roleplay as Alex in order for it to work. Like, I cannot get into D&D and all because playing a role is not a core engagement for me. I mean, that's fair, but I mean, why? I'm not sure why you would say that about this game, because you don't really have to do that in Half-Life 2 either. You kind of generally have your own interpretation of what's going on. That's what makes Half-Life 2 so great, though. Also, that it's going to be easy for you to roleplay Alex when a headcrab is jumping at your face, probably more than before. Again, it's all speculation, and it's very fair to be skeptical because this is going to be a completely uncharted experience, right? No one's ever actually done a full 10-hour game in VR before. I mean, I don't think but at the same time, regardless of all of that, I don't think you will. I don't think you will have to roleplay that much, will you? Because, I mean, considering the experience is a little bit more immersive, you know, I think it's going to be easy to kind of get sucked into the game in the first place. Who knows? Valve has always been about immersive stuff, making stuff believable. I'm just wondering, well, what exactly do you mean by role-playing? I mean, you probably won't have to role-play more so than any other first-person shooter, right? I mean, chances are, once you get a hold of the game, you'll be able to, like, you know, speed run it and everything, and it'll probably just be what it was. It'll probably be a game for both. Valve's never been a game, though, where you have to role play. Or rather, Valve's never been a company that makes games where you have to role play. Yeah, I mean, I think I understand what your point is, and I mean, it's very your opinion is obviously very valid. I don't see it. I think this is going to be just a solid experience shooting-wise. I mean, to me, this looks incredible. This could be the VR experience that we need that's going to really sell it. Also, Ketrub makes a very valid point. I liked role-playing in Half-Life 2, listening to the NPCs' conversations instead of jumping around. But the thing is, the wonderful thing about Valve is that you can do both. That's always been Valve's thing. That's why I think that there's room for storytelling in VR 100%. I mean, there's a good chance they might just make Alex silent. I mean, well, not silent because she's clearly talking in the trailer. But I wouldn't be surprised if, like, she takes a back seat. I think it'd be a better idea to do that narratively anyways. But I don't know. I'm not really worried about the storytelling element. I mean, listen, you know, I get it. Valve hasn't made a game in forever, but if we're gonna talk about storytelling in video games, I trust Valve. You know? Valve has never let me down with a game. And yeah, it's been a while, but I mean, like, even with shit like Portal 2, you know, which is like their last single-player game, that was it. That was, like, amazing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree with your boy. I mean, again, he says, again, with VR, I think it's going to be easy to connect with the character because I'm experiencing the same thing they're experiencing in a very visceral way. I agree. I think that VR could be who knows? Maybe Valve is about to show us how VR is the next step in storytelling. Think about it. What if in 10 years down the line, we look at old first-person shooters as disconnected? What if it'll be harder to understand first-person games as they exist today because of how disconnected they feel because you're only using a keyboard and mouse as opposed to hands, as opposed to using those controllers? What if not being able to directly interact with your environment is going to hold us back in the future from enjoying older games? Which is a sad thing to think about because, that's some Back to the Future shit. But think about it. What if that's where storytelling could go? And you know what? I'm honestly on board with it. I'm on board with, moving these games forward. Storytelling could change storytelling. And again, those are some big ass claims to make for one game. But think about it. Fucking think about it. It could happen. It could happen. It could fucking happen. I mean, again, first off, on top of that, you want to know something that I think is really interesting? Something that I think is really interesting. Well, Janus Vest, I think from a gameplay standpoint, absolutely. That makes sense. But from a storytelling standpoint, I think it might be a different story. I could see it happening. I could see it happening. I don't see VR as replacement for anything. It's just a different type of experience. It's true, but also like games like Doom and Quake ended up, I don't know. But also Doom and Quake never got replaced either. You got to remember Doom and Quake are exceptions. Also, that is kind of what I'm trying to say too. There's a little bobblehead of the Scout on the shelf below the ammo. Did I see it already, or am I bugging? I'll look for the ammo near the end of the trailer. Okay, we'll look for it. That's also true. Ketchup makes a really good point. The modern first-person shooter as it stands today will probably translate better to VR in the first place. Doom and Quake are actually the outliers. Like, I don't think we'll have Call of Duty VR replace regular Call of Duty in 5 years. It'll just be 2 games to drain your wallet. Exceptions to what? They defined a decade and spawned genres that kept defining decades with changes. It's true, but again, exceptions to the modern first-person shooter as they exist and are designed as they are today. But that's also another thing, too. Think about it. Doom and Quake evolved into something like Half-Life because of how technology evolved and because of ideas that changed it and made it more interesting. Right? Am I not right? When Half-Life came out, it was the exception to the first-person market more so than something like Doom and Quake, considering the fact that the Doom and Quake were way more fast-paced, while Half-Life ended up slowing it down a little bit more, adding more story beats, and then first-person shooter games started following suit in Half-Life, right? And so if Half-Life 1 could change how we see storytelling inside of a first-person game, right? And then Half-Life 2 goes even further, adding more storytelling elements, slowing it down. Half-Life 2 looks so far removed from Doom and Quake, and that's because of how it changed the first-person atmosphere. So what if we had a game that was in VR that ends up changing how we look at the first-person shooter? And what if games start being more designed to suit this control scheme more so than the other way around? So no, we're not going to see games like Doom and Quake in VR, but we're also probably going to see an evolution of how storytelling evolves because of how VR changes it, right? VR could very well change how we see first-person shooting altogether and evolve it to better suit that experience if that experience becomes more favorable. Half-Life became a more favorable and advanced experience because of how it was evolving the first-person shooter in general. So what if Half-Life Alyx ends up evolving the VR experience and the first-person shooter experience further? So think about it. Half-Life Alyx, if it ends up being more immersive and a more favorable experience for storytelling than first-person shooters as they exist today, we're going to go in that direction. Like we did with Half-Life 2. And like we did with games like, the Metro series or with Stalker. Right? Those games don't look like Doom and Quake either, but that's because they're following in the steps of something like Half-Life. So if we find that this experience and how it's tailored to VR ends up being a better experience and something that everyone wants more of, then they're going to make more of them and improve on the formula. And, do I think this is going to be the future of VR? Or do I think this is going to be the future of first-person shooters? Maybe. I don't know. But it's interesting to entertain, right? As the market moves forward and as all this shit gets more advanced, who's to say we won't see that? Right? Who's to say we won't see, how the first-person shooter will change? I mean, what I was going to say before that I thought was interesting is what's interesting about immersion here is this opening shower here, the reason why I keep pausing with it, think about it. Well, why am I saying think about it? Sorry, I'm using weird heuristics in my head. It happens sometimes. This looks like Resident Evil 7 to me, like this beginning, because of the head movement. What's interesting is that it actually adds more immersion and realism to some of the graphics. I don't know if that makes any sense, but with how the camera moves in Resident Evil 7, I've noticed that makes it easier to be immersed. Because with the very smooth mouse movement in games like, in more traditional first-person shooters right now, the graphics look good, but I noticed that in something like Resident Evil 7, like this is just weird. This is just a weird observation that I've made. Because the beginning here, like, I know that the Source 2 engine is not as advanced as Resident Evil 7, but with the head movement, I was mistaking it for Resident Evil 7 for a second there. Like, I think having that sort of realistic motion will actually... Yeah, Resident Evil 7 and Mirror's Edge had that the body presence effect, like they said. Well, you should be, because saying that VR is the future is such an early thing to say right now, given how young the technology still is. So yeah, you should be skeptical. Gina's Vesta, let me read the full quote. Don't get me wrong, I do think VR will take off and be highly successful. I'm skeptical of claims that VR will be the future. A lot of VR evangelists talk about it as a replacement of regular games, which I don't think it will be. I mean, who knows, Do I think it'll replace games? I think that's a lot. Especially because it is not nearly as accessible right now as, something like this, right? So who's to say? Will it replace PC gaming? Probably not, because what? Games like just RTS games in general, right? RTS games in general are not going to translate amazingly to VR. They will be compatible, no doubt, but chances are that'll, it's not going to work well. But I could very realistically see a future, and hear me out. I could realistically see a future where the first-person shooter market splinters into something where it's like, all right, cool. So you're gonna, let's say it's like 2025, or it's 2030, something crazy like that. Picture this: you're buying a PC, and you're gonna tailor it to your needs, right? And so, if you're mainly somebody who's playing games like RTSs or, tabletop or something like that, then you're probably not going to go for a very advanced graphics card. You're probably going to go for anything like that. But if you're somebody who going into it, you want to play first-person shooters, as it stands today, the fact that you want to play a first-person shooter means that you are going to have a more powerful PC, because those are the games that are really, pushing the boundaries of graphics right now. Of course, there's a bunch of other games like, Forza or something like racing games or other games, other genres that are really pushing graphics. Of course, like, even just platformers or third-person shooters or anything like that. But I mean, as it stands right now, when you're getting a PC, the big question comes, are you going to be playing first-person shooters? Not really. It's going to be, are you playing games? That's the main question, right? But maybe in the future, what if the question ends up being, are you gaming and are you playing first-person shooters? Because if that's the case, then you might want to look into also investing in that VR headset. And picture, if VR becomes big enough, I could see it being a thing where it's packaged into PC builds, right? Imagine that. You're buying a pre-built PC, and it's like, okay, here's our first-person package. It comes with a VR headset. It comes included in the final price. Blah, blah, blah. Right? I mean, that could happen. As the technology becomes more normalized and people end up adopting it more, it's going to be a more normal part of the PC experience. So, we'll have PCs where it's like, okay, cool. We're doing RTSs right now, so I'm going to put the headset down, right next to me, as it is today. And then, when I jump into Half-Life or when I jump into Counter-Strike, I'm going to slip the VR headset on, because that is now the first-person experience. That is now what the first-person shooter is. And it's going to be kind of an absolutely normal experience. We already have accessories where if you play RTSs or if you play racing games, you're already buying peripherals that make it better for you to play those games, right? I mean, well, what does it matter if it's packaged? You buy a gaming mouse today for $40 to $100. You didn't expect one package with your PC, and you replace and maintain it independent of your PC. That's true. I mean, well, that's another thing too, right? But you are buying a mouse. That is something that you're buying. Like, okay, I'm buying a PC. I'm going to need my keyboard. I'm going to need my mouse, my monitor. And in the future, I'm going to need my headset. And again, like the VR headset is going to be a technology that probably takes on the form of something like as a market as diverse as like monitors or, mice, right? There will probably be so many that you can choose whether or not you want one that has a higher resolution or you want one that you can play Doom without a mouse. You only play a game with no accessories needed. Microsoft was trying to do that already, but they weren't really good enough. Yeah. It's true. But, I think the gamepad is indispensable for me today, and that's a $50 item. A $100 headset is technically not much of a challenge. Right. I mean, again, like, if that were the case, exactly that. Imagine, like, being somebody, even right now we have that, right? With the Oculus, we have an option now that is just $400 for, it's $400 for VR gaming, and you don't need the base stations for the Oculus Rift S anymore. I've been looking into it. You guys probably know it better than I do. I've been trying to, keep myself in the loop. The Oculus Rift S, I didn't realize this, you don't need a base station. It has cameras all over it that are tracking the room itself and creating a 3D model, right? That's exactly. Okay, so NeonoCat says inside-out tracking is the future for sure. That technology is only going to get cheaper, $400 right now is already crazy, and the technology is still newer and is still not perfect. If I could get a good headset for £100 to 150 pounds, I would. Yeah, no, I mean, but exactly, right? The Rift S right now is 500. Index is almost 1,500. You're right. Right now, when you're buying a VR headset, But Windows Mixed Reality is not good. Windows Mixed Reality is like actually kind of like not good. It's cheap, but it's like it's new cheap, right? You don't want a newer cheap option. I'll wait until the Oculus. I think we'll really hit a stride when something like the Oculus Rift S, which has, you know, the newest inside-out tracking and is very compatible, you know, with setups today. When that becomes the $200, I think we're really going to be in an interesting time. When something like the Oculus Rift S, the newest one today, ends up being something like $200 or even $100, right? Because we have plenty of people who are willing to, you know, be like, hey, I don't need something crazy. I could just have a, you know, less intricate VR headset for less. I don't mind that. You know, well, me personally, I would rather get a more expensive one. You know, regardless, you know, with a monitor, I think I'd rather, like, you know, go for something that has, like, you know, a wider color gamut, has, you know, sRGB, is a little bit bigger, has more resolution, you know, just for the work that I do. Yeah, exactly. If I'm going to do VR, I want to do the best VR. I want to jump in the deep end and have it blow my mind and probably make me puke. I mean, yeah, exactly. And so the best VR as it exists today will only get cheaper, right? And so right now, we really like the Valve Index. I think when the Valve Index becomes something like 500, Oculus Rift S becomes like 200, that's going to be a very fascinating time. Because then that's going to be, it's only going to get more accessible from here on out. And again, do I think VR is the future? No. You know, I don't really think VR is going to be the future. But, you know, I don't think any one thing has ever been the future to begin with, right? You know, like, was Half-Life 2 the future? Yeah, sure, a little bit. And then we moved on, and then other things became the future, quote unquote. Was the keyboard the future? Yeah. But maybe, you know, quote unquote, the future isn't as extravagant as it seems, is my point. You know, like, I think it's really corny to say that any one thing will be the future in the first place, though. What I think could possibly, I don't know why I paused this. I think what could possibly happen is that we end up seeing, oh, wait, is that the whatchamacallit? What's the big building again? What the fuck is the big building called in Half-Life 2? You know what I'm talking about. The big thing with Breen. Is that the construction of it? Citadel. Yes, thank you. Holy shit. I just realized I think that's the building of the Citadel. Anywho. I mean, you know, again, like, that could just be part of the experience, you know, like, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes, because, you know, it could, I think the VR headset has the potential to be something as normalized as getting, you know, maybe a VR headset, well, not even. Well, let's consider this. Right now, a VR headset is more normal to get than something like a driving wheel, right? We never had a point in time where driving wheels became like super, you know, popular. This is the next fucking thing in technology. VR has the potential to be a technology that is wide enough and not as specific to warrant being as normal as getting a keyboard or a mouse. Do I think it'll be the keyboard, the mouse, and the VR headset? Maybe. No. Probably not, but maybe. What if? You know, like, I think it has room to be, like, integrated into a setup very easily. I mean, you know, it could happen. I think that one might be a stretch. Now that I'm thinking more about it. I mean, I'll think more about it later and have refined thoughts. I'm kind of just shouting out random nonsense at this point. Well, not nonsense. It's more about whatever's coming to my mind first, basically. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? You know? It could happen. It could happen. You know, if this takes off, if Half-Life Alyx takes off, it will no doubt mean big things for the VR industry either way. You know, if Half-Life Alyx ends up becoming a must-have, not just a must-have VR game, but just a must-have. Is that Eli, by the way? I was trying to figure out if that was Eli. Is that Eli? Also, is because I couldn't tell. He looked like some random guy, but he didn't like. His skin didn't look as dark to me. But I'm starting to think that maybe that's the effect of like the screen here. Yeah, now that I'm looking at him a lot more closely, he definitely looks a lot more like Eli than I remember. I just like wasn't expecting to see him like a suit or a skull cap. Yeah, that's a shame. He definitely has, but you could definitely hear his new VA. His new VA is definitely like a lot more easy to tell than like Alex's. Alex sounded different, and I'm sadly now I know why. Also, like, holy fuck, can we really talk about? First off, I didn't even see that corridor. Look at this. This in VR? Bleh. NeanoCat makes a really interesting point. We're comfortable with vehicles nowadays, more or less, even if they're smooth, as long as we're driving. Yeah, exactly. Even if they're not smooth, as long as they're driving. Maybe some kind of training or clue can be performed. First-person shooters like Quake used to make a large portion of people motion sick. Yeah, I mean, again, I think the point is that VR, out of all of the different peripherals and technologies that have, you know, come and gone with PC, VR has the most potential to be normalized, right? Because we're already talking about it in that capacity. We're already arguing over whether or not it could be. You know, we wouldn't have this conversation about something like, again, like a driving wheel. We're not having this conversation about like Razer peripherals, like the fucking weird, like the wrist keyboard that you can get, right? VR feels a lot more natural and part of the setup than that. Even if it does feel specialized, it's because of how like interesting and the different potential behind it. Because we've been seeing it used in ridiculously different ways that end up having the potential to enhance games. But, you know, it won't be until something like Half-Life Alyx that we really see one killer app that is that giant single-player experience, right? So, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I think VR could end up being, you know, an experience that will kind of tip the scale in terms of whether or not it's absolutely necessary. Right now, it's not. You know, it's just not right now. But that's why something like Half-Life Alyx might be necessary. You know, now the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm starting to think that VR, like, you know, it already became more normal than it was before. You know, people were saying when the Oculus was first being developed, this won't take off. This won't really take off. You know, this is just going to be a nice, cute little toy that you have. It'll be a project that, like, you know, not many people end up getting. But then the Oculus changed VR and it made it more approachable by finally being made when the technology was there, right? That's kind of what happened. You know, now we're still talking about whether or not VR will be approachable or adoptable, but, you know, on some level it already is. We already have options for VR. We didn't have that, you know, when VR was really, you know, starting to get its footing. Or rather, I think VR is getting a little bit of its footing now, but when VR is being introduced in the manner that it is today, we didn't have options. We didn't really see anything with it. So, you know, maybe, right? VR has been steadily evolving as demand has been slowly growing. And remember, I mean, people said the same thing about the internet. Would the internet take off? And I'm not, okay, again, and I hate saying that because this does make me sound like, oh shit, this is going to be the fucking future. But I mean, like, let's look at stuff that had potential before in the same vein. The internet was a very genius idea in terms of like, hey, this thing has the potential to link everybody. This has the potential to just be like, a part of everyday life, right? Yeah, again, maybe that's a little bit of a reach. I think you understand my point. A lot of the arguments people are making about. Also, yeah, where's the scout thing that you guys were telling me? You said it was towards the end of the trailer. Is it here? Is this it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Look at it. That's there at the bottom left. Oh, it's so cute. Also, we're seeing more. So these boxes and everything are definitely in Russian now. Huh. Interesting. They were a little bit before in Half-Life 2, but like nothing that was like very distinct. But like that box in the bottom right is like, very clearly Russian or Ukrainian. I don't know. Because I know Russian and Ukrainian are different now. I wasn't very smart when it came to geography. So, yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of examples of things that are, exactly. That's why, like, being skeptical is absolutely an all right option, being skeptical at any point is all right. But, it's, fucking, yeah. That's why, like, I think it's interesting. It's really interesting to posit, the effect and the impact that VR could have. But out of all the future technologies that are like, happening right now, I think VR is slowly becoming one of the most promising. And Half-Life Alyx, we might prove it, or it might just prove that VR is just going to be kind of a niche thing forever. Or rather, a little bit more of a niche thing forever. Maybe nothing will beat the monitor. Nothing might beat, sitting down in front of a monitor and just like, using your keyboard and mouse, especially with like, do I want to play Halo Infinite on VR? That's an interesting question because I don't know if I would say yes to that. Really? Like if you told me right now, hey, the definitive experience for the next AAA game like Call of Duty or Halo Infinite is going to be in VR, I would be a little skeptical. I'd be very skeptical. More skeptical than I am right now because Half-Life Alyx is just proving to be like, hey, we're making this for VR. But for the AAA title, the next like numbered entry in a major series like Halo or Call of Duty or, Resident Evil, for it to have the definitive experience being in VR, I don't know if I would vibe with that. It's the truth. It really is the truth. Because right now it feels like more of a commitment than it does a normal thing. It feels more like I'd have to go way out of my way to play something like what? A VR game. Boneworks. Yes. I think Boneworks is super fucking cool. I was just looking at Boneworks and that shit was fucking amazing. That shit is fucking cool as hell. Dude, this shit, like I was watching this yesterday. This is like fucking awesome. This is one of the things that was making me consider getting a VR headset. Although I might just save up my money and get the Valve Index. Valve Index is inside-out tracking, right? Isn't it? At least I would hope so. Because I don't have the setup to be doing all this other crazy shit. Also, keep in mind, and again, this is another interesting thing. VR could push manufacturers to like really up the ante on graphics cards. Lighthouse tracking, okay. That's fair. With VR having like such really hefty requirements, we could end up seeing like, another renaissance of graphics cards as like companies race more to have technology that'll, support VR easier and cheaper. So that's something to think about. Oh yeah, this dude starts doing fucking John Wick moves, and he says it like it's a little corny, but honestly, like he says it, and I'm like, fuck, that does sound cool as hell. Like this dude just starts doing John Wick moves like with ease in VR, and I'm like, oh fuck, that sounds so dope. Also, the Knuckles controllers are so cool. Thing about lighthouses is you simply plug them into power. They don't need PC connection. Ooh. Dude, oh my god, look at this shit. Oh my god, this is so fucking cool. Like this shit is fucking cool. And again, but it's demos like these that are like, okay, cool. So this thing is going to be in development for a long time, and who knows if it'll get out because it's still a tech demo. I don't know Boneworks. I don't know exactly what Boneworks is. I just saw this on like the Corridor Digital fucking thing, but a game with all of this would be really cool. But that's the thing is that like, we keep saying a thing with VR would be really cool. But now with Valve, it's really happening. And now we do have a thing that's going to be really cool with all the stuff that we've been talking about. Some John Woo shit in the Left 4 Dead franchise. Absolute. Oh my god. Oh my god. I would fucking come. I would bust a nut doing some John Wick shit in Left 4 Dead with like a crowbar and like a chainsaw. Fuck me. Boneworks is coming in December. It's a game about you being a developer of a VR game. Oh, that's why it uses a lot of seemingly work in progress assets. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Okay. That's funny. Let me unmute this a little bit.
Cold, damp, wet headset. Is that me?
Is that you, D?
Is that me?
Did you pose for Spencer?
I don't know, but that...
You go into your own game
wait.
after it gets taken over by an AI or something like that. That's fucking cool. Dude,
Yeah, he did.
like VR...
I don't think
Oh,
that's my
God.
face.
I really want VR. And I've never really said that about like anything else, you know?
He put a head that's a little bit more
Racist?
As in, I should say, I'm surprising myself with how much I want VR. And that's kind of like, for me, that's a little telling, because I usually don't want fucking anything too extravagant, but VR seems like an experience that's starting to like get there.
occasion.
That's messed up.
You know, like,
That's my
I don't know.
back. I would know my back.
It's impressive to me how much, like, you know, some of these VR experiences are being really tantalizing.
Well-rendered physics-based monkey.
I've always wanted, I mean, then again, I've always wanted kind of VR. Like, I've always thought VR was, like, really cool. I remember one time when I was a kid, I bought this fucking, stupid, quote-unquote VR headset that was a Power Rangers game. And it fucking was one of the most disappointing experiences of my whole fucking life. It was like one of the worst things I've ever... Let me see if I can find it. I wonder. And it's not going to be easy. Power Rangers VR toy. Oopsies. Yeah, I think this is it. It was... Oh my god, this fucking thing was so stupid. Fuck me. This thing was so dumb. Where is it? It was either Dino Thunder or... Oh, it might have been this one. It might have been Time Force. This thing was so fucking stupid. Ugh. This thing was so dumb and useless. This looks cool, right? Doesn't this look awesome? You're like, wow, I attach it to my hands and feet. It must be immersive. It must be cool, right? Must be awesome. This fucking thing. Look at it. I owned that. Virtual reality world 3D color. Suck my fucking dick, you fucking asshole. This was a fucking piece of shit. And it sucked. And I hated it. Fucking... I owned this! And it sucked! I owned this fucking piece of garbage. And I made my poor fucking father buy this for me. Why? I made my poor parents spend fucking their hard-earned money on this useless fucking piece of garbage that had like a million wires that would get tangled everywhere. You know, I wonder if I could fucking find a review on this thing, right? Power Rangers Time Force VR. Power Rangers Time Force VR. Fucking toy. It's not even here. It's not even fucking here. Because nobody cared about it. Because when you look at it over the age of like 8, it's like, oh, that's stupid. It's dumb. Okay, so I'm not explaining anything about it. This thing, you want to know why it was stupid? It's because you put your fucking face on it, and it's not even a Virtual Boy. At least Virtual Boy had moving graphics. This was an LCD screen. And like a Game & Watch style LCD screen that you put on your fucking face. Why? Imagine putting a black and red Game & Watch fucking thing on your fucking head. Like an asshole. Like a fucking asshole. Like, oh, God, just thinking about it. This is probably why I want VR so badly, so that I could avenge my fucking dad's money. You know? Like, I'm thinking I'm going to be playing Half-Life Alyx on this fucking thing, and I'm going to be a Power Ranger. And I'm like, whoa, I get to be a Power Ranger. I get to do this. I get to do that. Without realizing that, yeah, this thing is being powered entirely in-house. This thing is like, you know, way before the Oculus Quest, which has its own VR setup and everything. This is way before that. What the fuck was I or anyone else thinking? This thing was a fucking rip. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't get over it. How much I fucking despise this horrible fucking contraption. It looks like the contacts are duct taped to his hands. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yes, it fucking does. It's, oh my God. What a horrible experience. Like, I brought it home, put it on my face, and immediately felt like a dickhead. I was like, oh my God. My poor parents. I wish I was a little bit older so I could have just told them, hey guys, this sucks. We should return this and get your money back. Because this sucks. We should literally get your money back because this thing is a piece of shit and it's lying all over the house because there's a million fucking pieces to it. The wires are longer than anyone's like fucking... The wires are longer than like the fucking time span of a human being. God.
Stab him with it. Hold on, here we go.
What a horrible experience that was. I want Boneworks. Speaking of looking like a dickhead, I can't wait for headsets to get a bit slimmer and more stylish. Absolutely.
No, I don't believe you can.
The Valve Index itself is looking like a lot cuter than I thought it would, too.
Whoa.
But you know what? When this technology gets crazy, we're going to have RGB headsets. And don't give me that face because you know we are. You know Razer is going to come out with a headset that has RGB on it. They fucking put RGB on RAM, of all things. They put RGB on fucking RAM, on random access memory. They put RGB on it. The PlayStation VR has lights on it, sure. It's the first RGB headset. No. No. Anything could have lights on it. My computer right now has blue lights on it. It's not an RGB fucking desktop, though. I mean RG fucking B. Okay, not just B. I mean RGB. I mean, this thing can fucking transition colors from like red to blue to purple to orange to yellow to all of that shit. You know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. NeanoCat said it too. Those are functional lights. They have a purpose. I'm talking about lights that are like when people are watching you flail around like a dick hole in VR. You're gonna look like a fucking dick. Like a rainbow flashing penis.
Like, can I clean this out and then get to his juicy interior?
Yeah, no, me neither. I really do not like decorative lights on fucking on my PC. I always wanted it when I was like a kid, and now that I'm an adult with like a social life and friends who come over, I couldn't bother. I mean, listen. Okay, that sounded rude. Let me rephrase that real quickly. I'm sorry. I don't mean that in a mean way. If you have RGB lights in your computer, you're fine. Okay, I'm trying to let me pump the brakes on me being like, you know, an asshole. And I apologize. Let me reverse it. If you like your PC with RGB lights, dude, fucking do you. Okay, just do you. You know, if you have people who come over and they don't judge you for it, that's actually better than what I'm saying. Okay? And yes, I'm backpedaling because I have to, because I said something rude. But I'm sorry. I can't, me personally, I can't do RGB lights. I think they end up being a little obnoxious, you know, for my taste. Yeah, it's true. It is true. So let me recalibrate a little bit. Let me recalibrate and recenter. Your boy says, agreed. At the same time, the temptation to build the gaudiest, most disgustingly RGB color combo of Valmet is there. It is. It definitely is. And I see it. If you have RGB lights on your PC, you don't deserve friends. No. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, no. I mean that more as a joke. I think, you know, whatever. I don't think that I would be able to really, like, live down personally, for my taste, having such a loud, not obviously not physically loud, because that's a real factor in PCs, but I don't think I'd be able to have, like, you know, such a visually loud, obnoxious computer sitting in, like, my living room while my, you know, friends and family come over and try to talk to me as this thing is, like, blinding us and just like, wow, what's that fucking giant, what is that light show going on in the corner over there? Oh, that's my workstation. You know the hobby I've been telling you all about that I take really seriously? You know the video editing thing that I do where I'm telling you that this is going to be like my life's work and I put all my time and effort into this? Yeah, that's that fucking clown show going on over there in the corner. You know, that's what I dumped all my money into. I dumped all my money into something that looks like it belongs, you know, in a Blade Runner B movie. You know, that over there, that's what I call my workstation. And yeah, it has lights on it. I'm trying to keep myself, you know, entertained and refreshed. That's why I have a giant LCD screen on it that tells me the fan temperature and shit. Yeah, no. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I take what I do a little too seriously. And, you know, when you take something seriously, you can do whatever you want. But, like, you know, my version of taking this seriously is have it be, you know, nice, square form, tucked away, you know, as clean and minimalistic as possible. And just not having it be everywhere. Dude, yeah, the fucking polygon lights. You're streaming. Where's the webcam of your bed with those awful polygon lights in the background? Oh, jeez. Please. Don't even get me started. I purposely don't have my fucking computer set up in my room because, like, I don't want it to be that. The idea of it, like, makes me a little sick. of like having my workstation be in my bed, and also like having it, you know, be that like so like like having it be so intertwined with like, you know, where I sleep and where I relax. I don't know if I'd be able to do it, and I don't know if I would find myself relaxing as much. Separating my bed from my actual like computer is like has been one of the best things I've ever done, because I don't feel as cramped or as like, you know, just in my own head anymore. I do have my house set up with a like almost every light in the house is Philips hue changing lights, but that's because they save so much energy. The hue lights save a lot of energy, and like for parties and shit, like, you know, when I'm having like, you know, a bunch of friends over and doing drinking and whatnot, they're like fucking awesome. And you can stick them up to like music and shit. I wanted to put some of the lights behind my TV, but I was like, no, that's too much. Even for me, that's too much. I'm an extra person. Like, I do a lot of extra stuff, but even having that shit behind my TV would just be, I wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah. Yeah, that too. Like, you know, what if I fuck up and keep streaming and I just like fucking beat my meat like fucking DSP or some shit? Because my bed is right there. And everyone's listening to my fucking Sonic porn. My Sonic and Amy inflation porn. That'd be so embarrassing if people found out about that. You know, thank God that's not real.
Like stuck in him and dragged him with you. Right, two guys,
you know?
one sword.
Two guys, one sword.
Thank God that's not a real thing. That I'm only joking about. I don't know if I'd be able to live down that potential reality. And so having all these things separate is, you know, perfect for me.
He's struggling. He's hitting you with the sword stuck in his chest, man. Dude, grab his shoulder and grab the sword.
God, fuck. I want a Valve Index, but that thing is fucking so expensive. And, like, I gotta get a new camera before I do that. Also, yeah, announcing to everyone, I'm going back to Japan in April, and, yeah. Going back to Japan in April, and, I'm not gonna say too much, but, stay tuned to the channel. Because I'm going to be having a lot of fun next year, and I think I want to involve Piguni in it. And Japan might be one of those things.
Wow.
I might make it an actual like, PG thing, like, you know, put it into like, you know, an actual like, oh my god. Wait, it's a video game. Oopsies.
You! I heard what you said. Hey!
The guy threw the sword and I got scared. I was like, oh Jesus. Oh Jesus.
Slow-mo is actually challenging because you move slow too, so you have to like...
You gotta anticipate. You get more time to think, essentially. But you're still
make sure to be that obnoxious guy who records random people on the street. Yeah, no, I fucking hate that shit. Have you ever played Yakuza? Yeah. A bunch of fucking people here. A bunch of people here fucking made fun of me because like I'm not as used or well versed in a lot of the Japanese cities, so people would ask me like, you know, oh, you know, have you been to Sapporo or have you been to Osaka? Or Kyoto, and then somebody asked me, "Have you been to Kamurocho?" And I'm like, "Kamurocho? That's not like I don't think so. I don't think we were able to like make it." And they're like, "Yeah, that's the town in Yakuza." And I'm like, "Wow, do I sound like a fucking dickhole right now?" Thanks audience, thanks chat, fucking assholes. Kamurocho just sounds like a regular ass Japanese city. Yeah, fuck you, Janus, you fucking asshole.
All right, you wanna jump in here?
I'd recommend.
It's Kabukicho, yeah, exactly. And I was in Kabukicho. It's fucking awesome. It's the red light district, which isn't very red light, but I mean, you know, sure. It is kind of red light, but it's not very red light. You know, like it's a lot less red light than they make it out to be. It's in the middle of mainstream Shinjuku. Like it's like literally right next to Main Street Shinjuku, right next to Golden Guy. It's honestly like not the fuck. It is really not that crazy, honestly. It was, don't get me wrong, it was like, you know, super cool. There's a lot of like, you know, crazy lights and everything, and it was super awesome to be in, but it's not like, you know, well, the crazy, like, fucking red light district with all the fucking, the soap houses and everything. No, no. It's not that crazy.
He's so light now.
It was amazing, though. Like, I really enjoyed it. What the fuck is going on?
Just paint the lines out and everything.
Yeah, no, Kamurocho is definitely Kabukicho. Like, it makes sense why it is. But it's also like, it's also a combination. It's, Kamurocho, apparently the layout is also the same. Kind of. And it's definitely inspired. Oh my god, what the fuck are they doing? No, Kamurocho feels like a combination of Kabukicho and Akihabara.
Get low, get low.
Or Akihabara. Akihabara.
No.
I'm just gonna say Akihabara. Akihabara was like probably one of my favorite spots. It was very touristy, obviously, but I mean Akihabara is just like a beautiful place, you know. And fucking, I don't care about anything. Like fucking, I know I sound like a tourist. There's places in New York that I fucking love being a tourist in, right? East Village is very touristy, but I love being in the East Village. It's one of my favorite places right now. I'm having an East Village phase. Right? Every time I want to drink or go to a bar, I just go to the Lower East Side.
That's so crazy. Whoa, every time he tries this.
Kamurocho is really beautiful in Yakuza. I really love it. Like it really does capture. It does a lot. It does a lot to capture the spirit of Kabukicho and like just general Japanese architecture very well. Feels like YouTube chat is off. I just don't think there's anyone on YouTube.
Yeah, spank that boy. He's been a bad boy.
I think everyone has like officially moved to I think everyone has moved to. And yeah, I'm gonna check my own stream on stream.
Perform this action to try to.
I know how that sounds.
A little bit heavier.
Let's see.
Look up a little bit more.
Oh no, you get to see all my stats. Whatever.
Oh no, he's coming down.
Yeah, earlier I was chatting and you. Whoa, what? That's not good. Hold on. Wait, what? Oh my god! Do not tell me that.
That's
fuck.
Wait, check this out. Check this out.
Hold up. Y'all can't see this real quick. Hold up.
Dude, I just body slammed him onto that sword.
Wait, now Forrest grab the sword.
I was like stuck in it.
You wait, stuck through his body and his leg. Oh, what?
Hold on.
Hold on.
You're real
Pull
messed
his
up,
leg
man.
out.
Oh,
Stab a guy and you can pull
Oh no! YouTube is offline. What the fuck?
So intense.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. So my goal here is to stab this man.
Oh no!
Get to the other side of him and then pull his sword the rest of the way.
Oh fuck! You guys are right. YouTube is offline, and I don't even know why. Why? Oh, it's online
Oh,
now.
my spine.
It's truly amazing.
What the
I
fuck?
could do this all day. I think.
It said
Let's go together
offline.
to
It
John
definitely said offline. So what the fuck was that
You guys wanna
about?
see us do the John Wick
Hold
challenge?
up.
If you're new to this channel,
Fuck,
consider
God.
subscribing. Next
What the
episode,
hell?
We're gonna spawn these guys and try to do John Wick moves on them.
You have no idea when this is gonna happen unless you hit that.
Also, can I like delete this fucking?
That's one gimp arm. Oh, you didn't take the hint. That's two gimp arms. What you do
Whatever
now?
the fuck
Sling
this
your
is
noodles at
deleted,
me? Oh,
'cause this
it's
is
so
not
heavy noodles. All right.
Important.
Heavy nudes.
Oh, it's a gimp leg.
Let me. It's delayed by a minute, anyways. It says it's live. I think it's fine. But let me check if there's been any chat going on here.
He's a little stunned. He hit the back of his head on the ground pretty hard, but I feel like he's gonna get up. Here it goes.
Oh my God! There was so many people talking. There's so many people talking on fucking YouTube. What the fuck happened? Holy shit! Okay, listen, YouTube people.
Look like the bones work.
I'm so sorry.
There's no, like, get up if your legs are
fucking.
broken animation. There's just a get up animation,
Oh
which is,
my
like,
God!
your brain's
What the
telling you
fuck?
to do, but because
So
his
YouTube
limbs
guys,
strong enough
I am
that
sorry.
They can't do it. It just
I couldn't read your chat, and I don't know why.
Ooh,
I don't know why either. This is like fucked up.
Subscribe to Boneworks.
Restream just fucked me.
Thank you guys so much for wishlisting and following Bone.
I don't even know when the last one was.
On all of Steam. That's not just
Blah,
VR,
blah,
that's
blah.
all of Steam, like store-wide.
Let me try
top
typing
5
this.
most anticipated games. So that's like we're up there with the big boys. Like E3's coming. They're all now.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Which is pretty cool. So thank you guys.
Fuck. It's not even OBS or what OBS are you using. I'm using I'm not using Streamlabs. I'm using the regular one. The other one. What the fuck? Oh my God. My own messages don't show up in Restream. This is bullshit. What the fuck? Okay, so now I'm looking at fucking YouTube chat, I guess. Okay, YouTube chat. I'm it's so dumb. Okay, so YouTube, I can read. You won't see your own chat on screen. You'll only see Twitch, but I can read your chat. So I have pop out chat for YouTube. So if you write something to me, I'll see it. Otherwise, yeah. That's so fucking annoying, and I don't know why the fuck that happened. Oh, this is so cool. That's a Half-Life 2 beta weapon, isn't it?
So as
Okay, YouTube. So I can read your chat now, YouTube. I'm sorry. I am very sorry, everybody. I don't know why the fuck that happened, but it's not a PG stream without extreme,
but it's the beginning of the game, so we're not spoiling
confusing fucking tech, issues. God damn it.
Top 40 overall, so we're like big boys right now.
If you want to chat with Twitch, then obviously go on Twitch. It's also the delay on Twitch is not nearly as bad as the one on YouTube. YouTube is behind by like a whole minute, basically, a whole 45 seconds. Twitch is nearly instantaneous.
This is like a few months beyond that. So even though we showed that video a month ago, that was a build from months ago. So this is a pretty up-to-date build. Our story picks up with you as a developer.
I'm interested in this.
Touches on this game, on this experience that's being developed, and you go into this OS to essentially debug the clock. There's stuff going on with the clock, and so what you're playing is like a visual OS that it's self-generating this thing. So we start with your journey to the clock tower to go fix the clock.
Whoa, so I'm like in a warehouse testing facility that's built to be kind of like a real world. Oh, hell yeah. This is my kind of crate.
I feel that, though. Sometimes I feel that way when I talk, so at least I wish it was only typing. All right. Anyhow, it's time to show off some new stuff.
Right.
Well, not new stuff.
Do not enter.
Some new toys, rather.
You're like,
anyone ever do anything exciting by following the rules? Probably.
Okay.
The lighting is really nice.
So, really quickly, I'm going to bring you back over to the pre-stream, and I'm going to get my Dreamcast set up, which should be fun. Because I've gotten some new equipment for my Dreamcast for reasons. But this time, the Dreamcast will work flawlessly. Well, not flawlessly. I'm going to have to fiddle with it, but the Dreamcast works a lot better. I think there's just something wrong with the actual chip on my Dreamcast, like the actual video chip, so I might have to get a new Dreamcast, but I don't know. We'll see. Just because I have no soldering skills. And blah, blah, blah. Are we going to play Sonic Adventure again? No, we're going to play the thing that I wanted to play last time that I imported from Japan. So there's an import, and you'll see how. I just wanted to share this with all of you. So give me 1 second while I get this set up. Dreamcast, yes. Okay. Give me 1 second while I set this up, guys, because it's going to take a second or two. So I'm going to leave you guys with a quick little song while I'm working in the background. One sec. It'll be both. It'll be a mixture of going extremely well and horribly wrong, as usual.
You scared us.
We thought you were the monster.
You're all a bunch of scaredy babies. I ain't afraid of any monster.
It's crazy.
Whoa, every
This is
time he
really
tries to
nuts.
stand up.
lot about love.
Mostly about relationships going bad. I do those very well.
And why is that?
It's something I know about.
You were married once, right?
Long time ago.
And why did that marriage end?
I hope he's not listening.
All right. I'm back. I've got it set up. And actually, this might go a lot smoother than I thought it would. Thank God. So let's get that moving here. Gonna move over here. Let's see. And here we go. Look at that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let me get this full screen real quick. Let's go. There we go. Oh, fuck. It's only one channel. Shit. Oh, my God. There we go. That's better. Now it's on both channels. So, headphones users, you're not going to be, yeah. Yeah, G-Man looks fucking amazing. That's crazy. They completely redid his model. No reused assets whatsoever. So here, check this out. I'm going to let you see what this import is. And I think you guys are going to enjoy this. Or rather, this isn't it, but you'll see what I'm doing here. Because I have this is how I have to play imports. Also, that video capture device is loud as fuck. So yeah, that's the only thing about this fucking thing that's really confusing me. Is that it keeps flickering, and I don't know why it does that. I think that's the Dreamcast board doing that. Check it out. Oh, shit. Drop my controller. Yeah, that's going to get really frustrating. Let me try to fix that real quick. I saw that it took out my mic. So, let's try this. Let's see if this works. Fuck. Boy, do I hate. I've noted as Sega consoles are so finicky. So finicky. Like, I cannot understand why either. But Sega games are Sega consoles are notoriously fucking like annoying with like their visual shit. Super annoying. Are just finicky like to fucking move around with, because even my Sega Saturn, like weirdly has visual issues when I'm trying to use RGB SCART. It's fucking weird. This is it. This is it. What do y'all think? What do you guys think? This is What's Shenmue. This was a preview disc that was given out before Shenmue's release in order to promote the game. So this was the Shenmue demo, basically. And what's crazy about this Shenmue demo is that it has some seriously crazy fucking just like really whacked out fucking stuff in it. And I'll get to that in a second. So real quick, so these are just controls. These right here are just these are the talking heads. I don't know, you guys have probably seen these before, but this is just the tech demo for the different actual like face tech for the game. And these are models that are not even in the actual game. This is just a demo for the Dreamcast more than it is for Shenmue. Like, hey, here's the tech that we have, right? So you'll see an example of one of these. This is Rio. It is. This is an interactive pamphlet, basically. It's exactly what it is. And basically, you can't hear it. This was also on Shenmue Passport. There's an English version of this on the actual final disc itself. Basically, Rio's saying, look, I have a face. This is lighting, you know, I can move my mouth. I can, like, you know, do this, I can do that. Yeah, this is just a Shenmue Passport thing, but in Japanese. But what makes this disc so interesting is this. And I'm sorry if you guys wanted to see more of the talking heads, but it's a whole lot of nothing. You can move it around and everything, but it's not like the most interesting thing ever. This is the more interesting thing. And again, I don't have any captions. I don't really know what they're saying in Japanese, to be honest with you. But it's pretty cool to look at. And interesting to see where they were at this point in development. Because there's a few key differences to the final game that I think are really interesting. Shenmue is very impressive, even today. This game is very impressive. And also, of course, once again, this is playing on a real Dreamcast. This is all real, playing with a real Dreamcast controller as we speak. You know, just wanted to put it out there. So I don't know what any of this shit is saying. I never brushed up enough on my hiragana to understand what's being said here. Oh wow, so Nyanuka, you have like a lot of experience with this. I used to stare at those talking heads for hours with light maps reflecting in their eyes. Yeah, it's a pretty fascinating spectacle to look at. So you have to actually, for this, you actually have to press help, and then you get to leave, which is cool. Really interesting. Check this shit out. Tried using Google Lens to translate. I mean, it's not exactly worth it to me because of how, you know, I don't know. It never bothered me too much to really, like, you know, look into, like, you know, what exactly it says. It probably just says something like, you know, information on whatever's going on. But basically what's going on is he's looking, I think essentially what ends up happening is what ends up happening is that you're looking for a man by the name of Yukawa. And who they're referring to is literally the president of Sega. Oh yeah, Shinhwa. Or Shahua. I don't know exactly how to say her name like that. I think it's Shahua. So firstly, Shenmue, oh my god. Yes, Mr. Shenmue himself here. Ryo's standing pose is a little different from what I saw. But right here, things are pretty much identical. Right here. Things are pretty much identical. Tom runs off, and I don't really know why. But check this out. So this area right here, it's closed off. You can't visit it yet. Also, what was that? I thought I just saw something. This actually isn't in English in the final game, I think. I'm pretty sure. Also, the fucking what year was it released in? I think this is still 1999. The earliest is 1998, but this is probably early 1999. Interesting. I didn't realize that when I was playing it yesterday. But yeah, also these windows in the final game are empty. But you can actually go inside the arcade. I don't know if you could play the games. We could try. This is a genuine disc, so I mean, chances are you could. I'm wondering, is this text like this in the Japanese version too, like the style of it? Because I didn't know if it was. So I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure which games are and aren't available. I'm pretty sure they're all available. Maybe. I didn't actually try it, so maybe we could try it out. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't though. Yeah, no, it looks like you actually can't do it. Looks like you can't play them. But these are the actual games that are available in the final one to play, like Space Harrier and Afterburner. You can't even play any of these actually. Not even darts, I'm pretty sure. Oh, you can play darts. You can actually play darts. What was that actually? Hold up. I just saw a poster. Oh, it's a Flicky poster. That's cute. Didn't even see that. Can you play Hang On? No. Weirdly enough, there's a slot machine in here, and I don't think that's in here in the actual in the final game. It might just be here for preview purposes, but we're gonna do some old-fashioned gambling. So that meant yes. I know Japanese yes and no is hai and ie, but I don't know. I wasn't sure which one it was because those look like symbols I'm not used to. That was a close one. I'll try it one more time. I actually never gambled in the real game, I think. At least, like, you know, I never got to. I never went to the whatchamacallit. Yeah, but the triggers here are switched, so you look closer with the right trigger, and the left trigger you run with. Wow, that was weird. I found out that Nandeska is actually an informal, like, what? So yeah, you get the business card here. Forgot about that. Yeah, yeah, like this dude's face and like his shirt is nothing like Rio's face or anything like that. Even though they do look similar, but yeah, it's funny. So after you get that, you get a weird time skip to January 28th. I don't really know why. I don't know what the idea is behind that, but yeah. Now it's January 28th. And the day that it was before was whatchamacallit? Christmas. Unless it was referring to the time, it might have been referring to like the different times of day. Like it might have been 12:25 p.m., 1:28 p.m., and then like I think later on it's gonna be like 2:30 or something like that. So what's interesting here? So check this out. First off, check this out. Forgot about this entirely. This so the vending machines in the final Shenmue game, at least the American one, are not Coca-Cola. They didn't get the licensing deal, and so it's just a generic Jet Cola or some shit like that. Which is weird because they were able to get the Timex deal, but not the Coca-Cola one. So you can literally just buy a Coke. And of course, this is the famous drinking everything in one gulp fucking little cutscene that you get. It's a lot less dramatic than the final game, though. The final one has actual camera cuts. Yeah, in the Japanese version, they have the Coca-Cola one. But check this out. For anyone who's played Shenmue, check this out. You can crouch at any time. Yeah. You can really just crouch. For no reason. There's no reason for it. At all. But there's a whole you can just crouch. You can't do anything with it. You can't do anything with it. And then you can look around, but I mean, like, there's no reason to be able to crouch. Anywho, if we talk to people, the conversations end up looking a lot more straightforward, because as you talk to them, they'll do this shit. Watch this. How do you crouch? It's with the Y button, the top button. Yeah, so I believe this guy just pointed, and all the NPCs will do that. So, I guess for the sake of it being a demo, they have the conversation system be a lot more straightforward, just to get an idea of what it would be like in the final game. Yeah, it's very strange. They just kind of like point to where to go. Really weird. In the final one, you just kind of have to like know what they're saying. So if I was playing the final game in Japanese, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. But look at this. He just says, here, look at that. Go down there. And I was like, alright, cool. I guess you meant to go down there. I also, in conversation, you can actually press Y. I'm not sure what it does. I'm going to try pressing it now. But you can't do anything with it. Y is just there for no reason. So that's cool. Yokawa? It is, for demonstration purposes. Like, I was able to beat this demo just because he's like, hey, look at that direction. And you're like, okay, cool. Now I will go in that direction. And I believe from here you talk to, you can't. You cannot crouch in the final game. In the final game, you can't crouch. This is exclusive to what Shenmue? This is exclusive to the demo version. Also, I can't do it anymore. What the fuck? Wait, whoa. What the fuck? Hold on, I can't crouch anymore. Why can't I crouch anymore? What? Now it's just bringing up the menu. Oh no, there it is. It's X. It's X. It's X. It's X. I'm saying Y because it's Y on an Xbox controller. My bad. My bad. I don't know why my brain just stopped working there. Anyhow, I'm sure we could like just keep walking down here. And also, this is a lot easier. This demo's a lot easier to figure out just because of so Tomato's closed completely. You can't go to Tomato at all. This cutscene is in the final game, just like at a completely different like time and context. So here we go with the QT. I hope I don't fuck this up. Now this is the early preview. Oh shit, oopsies, I was picking my nose. I had to use all my brain cells for that right there. I had to think as hard as I possibly could in order to like get that. Yeah, and here instead of, he asked him something else in the final version, but here he's asking him for Yukawa. Just threw my phone on the floor by accident. What happens if they beat you up? Well, you just kind of start again. You just kind of start the QTE again, I imagine. At least that's what happens in a final game. It's definitely not like, oh, like a Mass Effect, like your choice matters thing. It's like you either beat them up or you, well, you don't really have a choice. You beat them up or you just don't progress. And here we have Nozomi, who looks a little different than the final version from what I remember. But that might just be my faulty memory. Or her face looks a little different here from what I remember. Yeah, see? She's saying to go to the travel company, I believe. So you go back, so the travel company isn't open.
Yukawa って人を探してるんですが。
湯川？この辺の人かい？
いや、分かってるのは、
Yeah.
メガネにグレーのスーツ姿ってことしか。
心当たりないね。
Imagine you just game over and went back to the menu. I would fucking be upset. So 1600, I believe that's 1600. Oh, 12, 14, 15, 16. So 3 o'clock. Should open like now, shouldn't it? Here we go. So this is interesting. This is the president, the literal president of Nintendo at the time. That's Yukawa. Forgot his last name or his first name. I'm not sure which one Yukawa is. Fuck. Look how fucking crazy this is. That's literally the president of Sega. And he's in this Shenmue demo, like fully voice acted and fucking Fuck! Yukawa-san! Check this out. Look at this shit. Watch this. 16 is 4 o'clock though. Is it? 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, you're right. I can't count.
Yukawa だな。
Yukawa.
必ず来ると思ってた。しまった。さあ、ディスクを渡してもらおうか。
He's fully in. He's fully like in the game, like fully textured and modeled and rigged. This is like one of the most elaborate fucking previews ever. It's wild. It's fucking wild. Like, could you imagine this? Like nowadays? This is like some Kojima shit. Like this is I could see like this is like on literally some level of Kojima. Shenmue. So he's basically saying that, oh, you're in a game, and the game we're in is Shenmue. Check this out. Look at this. Wasn't that fucking weird? I wish I could hear your optical noises from a scatter loading and streaming. Can you, like, not hear it? Because, like, I feel like it was loud as hell. But, yeah. That was What Shenmue. Fucking one of the weirdest fucking preview demos fucking, like, ever. Like, what the hell was any of that shit about? Right? Like, what the fuck? Yikes. Also, yeah, I'm gonna do something for you real quick. I want you to listen to how, my Dreamcast sounds. Because, NeanoCat makes a really good point. I'm gonna put my mic up to my Dreamcast so you can hear in high quality some high quality fucking Dreamcast sound effects. Check this out.
その者東の凸く国より海を渡りて現れり若者姫し力いまだ知らずかのに
トム、湯川って人見なかったか?
How the fuck is it snowing? I guess the preview disc has random weather too. The preview disc has the weather logic in it. That's crazy. It's snowing.
Oh yeah!
I want to explore a little bit more of the demo and see if you can go into businesses. Oh shit, you can. I want to listen. I want to know what that sounds like. I want to hear that back, because whenever I'm streaming, I don't have headphones on because it's easier for me to talk without hearing my fucking voice in my head. I don't like hearing it too much. I just like speaking out loud. Yeah, no, I thought that was interesting. Is that you can I was expecting more businesses to be closed, but I mean, I guess this one's open. This is also the other travel company, because there's two of them in Dobawita. But I'll show you the other areas that are blocked off and how they're blocked off, because they're just blocked off by like these random looking NPCs and then like one cop. So weird. But just a heads up, guys. In about 10 minutes. I'm going to wrap up this stream for today, and then tomorrow I think I'll go back on, and we should be able to, yeah. But tomorrow we'll have more. I hope tomorrow or the day after, but I'll let you guys know on Discord. Also, this guy looks way different. I feel like this guy looks way different than the final version. Is it just me, or does he always have that big-ass forehead? Yukawa-san? I love the voice acting. Japanese speech patterns are really interesting to me. So let's see what other buildings we can go in. What is and isn't available. Actually, let's go the other way. I don't know why Tom runs away though. That's what was confusing to me. Oh. How well are these games keeping up today? I think Shenmue holds up extremely well. Shenmue is like a really interesting game. So this whole back corner with is like cordoned off. With the bike shop and all the other businesses down there, it's cordoned off like completely. I'm gonna try going in. I wonder if can you go in here? Interesting. So they give you a fairly small block to work with. And you know what? Also, I just realized they don't give you the time, I think, on purpose, because this isn't a real-time demo. This is based more on their time. Oh, I don't think I've ever been in here in the full game, actually. I still discover businesses in the game like way long after I've played it. Yeah, the fucking Dreamcast is loud as shit.
今日は変な日だな。湯川って人、そんなに有名なのかい？え？他にも聞きに来た人がいたからさ。聞きに来たその人って覚えてますか？茶色い革ジャンだったかな。
Oh, oopsies! I don't have anything. I'm a fucking idiot. I don't even have the chat showing. Fucking dumbass. Hold on, everybody. I feel like an idiot. Nice. That's true. Well, whatever then. So the game is letting you know what... Wait, does the game always let you know what time it is? Yeah, it does. The game is always telling you what time it is, so maybe it's not me. Or maybe it's just me, rather. So if we try to go around this way, that girl blocks you. Yeah, I feel bad because YouTube... I don't know why the YouTube fucking, Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, okay, cool. So it wasn't just me. The fucking... The dude who runs the jacket shop has a completely different model in the final one. It's funny because this guy is blocking it, but even this business is like not ready yet. Find that interesting. Was I in here? Was this the other travel company? No, it wasn't. Oh wait, what's this? Is it saying closed or maybe saying something I don't understand? It also swaps in models of people as they walk into you on the street from disc and final game. But yeah, I think that's basically it for this. This is just like a very fascinating part of history for me. I think it's really cool to see, like... Did it age better than Yakuza 1 on PS2? Hard to say. I would have to play Yakuza 1 on the PS2. I haven't thus far. Wow, so there's really not a lot of businesses open. There's like less open than I remembered. Okay, fucking little shit. Get it. God damn. An asshole. So what's in my inventory too? Let me see. 2,000 yen, which is about what? I got like 20 bucks on me. I don't know if this picture is in the final one. Is it? Also, this is... Whoa, this is interesting. Check that out. Sorry. I was looking at YouTube chat. Marco Polo, don't worry about it. I mean, it's more about Restream's fault. I'd rather pay attention to both. I don't know what this is saying on the back. But what was I saying? This has a zoomed in FOV right here, but then like it zooms in the FOV right here on the regular one too. I love this watch. This watch is so expensive because of this game. I don't know what that was saying. I know the characters. Not really, but that's a N character, and there's a S in there somewhere. But I don't know what the words mean, so not like it matters too much. I have to learn more words. I don't know enough Japanese words. I know like the characters and whatnot, but I need to know the words. Right. So I think for right now that might be it for Shenmue, but this was Shenmue on the this is what's Shenmue, the preview disc on the Dreamcast. But I think for now what we're going to do is probably call it a day, and I think we'll get back to streaming tomorrow or the day after, because I want to do a second stream this week. Excuse me, talking a lot makes me tired. Sorry, everybody. Oh, shit, Megumi. That's Megumi. Cute. Sorry, she just showed up. I know it didn't show up on your screen, but it showed up on mine. She just walked by. But, yes, I think for now that's going to be it. For now. But, once again, I'm going to work on Death Stranding. The problem with Death Stranding is basically, if you like Yakuza, you'll see how Shenmue influenced it. But you really won't know if you like Shenmue until you play it, really. I think Shenmue is a really good game. I think it does a lot of interesting things. I think it requires way more patience. It requires a lot of patience, and it requires you willing to work with the game and give it space to do its thing. If you respect Shenmue, it'll respect you back, I think. That's how I've always seen it. It's not as approachable as Yakuza, but I think it's always worth a shot. Like, Shenmue is a game worth playing if you give it, if you give it that space. But anywho, for today, I'm going to say goodbye, I think. But anyhow, if you guys aren't on Discord, then follow me on Discord. We've been having discussions about a bunch of stuff. I'm going to try to play Death Stranding. I haven't played it yet. I've been waiting to stream it. But yeah. Hopefully I'll get that set up maybe tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Either way, I think that's going to be it for today's stream. I want to thank you all for coming out. As usual, you guys rock. It was really fun to talk to everybody today. VR is the future of gaming. Maybe, maybe not. Half-Life looks really cool, though, so we'll see. But for now, I think that'll be it. I hope you guys have a very nice day or night or whatever it is. And for now, I love you all. So have a good night, guys, or have a good day or whatever. Love you. Smooches.